What up, infidels? It's been a while. Welcome back to Dangerous Brown Podcast. I know. The last podcast I was talking so much shit about how I'll do this every week, and then I ended up not doing it for a month. You know how it is. It's pretty up and down here at the Dangerous Brown Podcast. You know what it is? Because so now obviously I'm at my parents' house again. Look, for Thanksgiving. Look, Festus is here. Everybody say hi to Festus. But I live in a house now with Hans Kim and Brian Simpson, which is nice, and there's a podcast studio in that space. But the problem is this is the same problem for those of you who listen through me doing this at my old apartment in Austin. I don't feel like I can get as loud and as intense that I want to be when I do this. I think to me a lot of times a part of this what makes the great episodes of this podcast great is I'm yelling, I'm singing, and that's something that's tough to do when it's other people there and other people who I admire creatively as well, who have the ability to be in a position to maybe judge me, even though they wouldn't, because it's oh, look at Hassan, he's working. But still, that's just how I feel. And, it is what it is. And maybe that's something I have to get over. But, I'll have to see. Maybe I have to rent out studio space for this as well. The problem is, if you haven't followed my breaking news series on Instagram, go ahead and do that. That's what I'm focused on mostly now, is I'm spending pretty much all of the money that I have to rent out the studio for that, pretty much. Or you know what I mean? I don't want to say money. All my resources and time are sort of in that sort of zone. So it's it's hard sometimes to balance out everything, But that's what makes the great people great, is that they do everything. Dude, The Rock is doing 90 million movies right now. Probably, right? None of them amazing, but all of them The Rock. Someone told me, well, I was talking about this with someone. They said that The Rock is our modern day Arnold. And I could see where they would get that from, that idea. He's a big sort of muscly man, the leading man in all these action movies, but that's, I think, disrespectful for towards Arnold's movie career. I would say nothing that The Rock has been in can touch the highest critically acclaimed Schwarzenegger movies. And not even critically acclaimed, just quality movies, bro. The Rock has done nothing like Terminator 2. Nothing like Predator. The Rock is famous for being The Rock, bro. Arnold, I could name his movies, and yeah, that's Arnold in them, but those movies, Terminator 2 is one of the greatest movies of all time. The Rock can't touch that. Of all time, bro. That's what Arnold was like, I feel yeah, I just feel like Arnold is just so much of a better movie star. And probably has more range as an actor than The Rock does. I would say that he has more range of an actor than The Rock. The Rock is always The Rock. But, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I say that and people are yeah, I agree with that. But I think that's I think Arnold is another tier level, right? It's, it's like saying that Kevin Hart is Eddie Murphy. I've heard someone say that too. He's our Eddie Murphy, and it's come on, man. I love Kevin. I love Eddie, but Kevin has not been in the level of movie that Eddie Murphy was in. Eddie Murphy was in some all-time classic movies. Hell, he was even nominated for an Academy Award. Kevin is just in a lot of movies. Bonafide star. Love Kevin Hart. He's not Eddie Murphy. He's just not. There's not one Kevin-led movie that I'm man, I gotta show this to my kids, or my kids are gonna see this. You know what I mean? There's a good chance my kids see something like Coming to America. Or The Nutty Professor. Or, you know what I mean? What's the Get Hard? That's a Kevin Hart movie, right? Ride Along? Maybe. you know? I just feel like, I don't know. I was gonna say I feel like the quality of movies is going down, but that's just me being an old man being like, back when I was young, movies were better, you know? I mean, I guess Knives Out, the new Knives Out, Glass Onion, great movie. Yo, I did not like Black Panther 2. I thought Black Panther 2 was bad. Am I the only one? I can't be the only one. I know I'm not the only one. But how can you have a superhero movie that's so much talking? So much talking, dude. I want to see some action, some fighting, you know? And, like, I know, because you have to balance the whole Chadwick died, and that's very sad. And I think the very beginning of the movie, the funeral, and then the sort of Marvel opening cutscene with just all videos of him, I thought that was very well done. That made me tear up. But then outside of that, the movie was just so blah. The movie was blah, dude. That's how I feel. It was boring. I don't think it was memorable. And the Marvel right now is just going through a tough stretch of movies. A tough stretch. I'm like, because I'm at the point where now, like, up until Endgame, I watched everything Marvel put out. I was one of those. Big MCU fan. And now, like, I haven't seen most of the TV shows. I thought a lot of the movies in this cycle were pretty weak. Black Widow was weak. Black Panther 2 was weak. Eternals was weak. Doctor Strange 2 was kind of weak. Spider-Man 3 and or Spider-Man whatever, No Way Home, I think that's what it was. Spider-Man No Way Home and Shang-Chi I thought those were great Marvel movies. Those were like, okay, that, like, it's whatever magic Marvel has is still there. And same with the first two, Loki and this, oh my god, WandaVision. I thought those were great shows, but then the rest has just been like, ugh. It's too bloated. It's too bloated, and it just doesn't feel like there's a direction right now. But maybe I'm wrong, because it's like, when you look back at phase 1 leading up to the Avengers, you would be like, most of these movies are outside of Iron Man are not that good, and you don't see where they're going. Like, in a million years, you couldn't have guessed where they're going. So Marvel has, in my mind, earned itself another phase where I'll watch everything. But if Thor: Love and Thunder, bad. But Marvel, in my mind, has earned another phase where I'll watch all the movies at least of that phase. But if that phase is bad, I'm out. It'll go in the way of Star Wars, where it's like, it's too much. I'll watch the things that they say are good, and other than that, I'm okay. Someone told me I had to watch Miss Marvel because it's okay, but at the end, there's something really important, and it's like, I'm not going to sit through 8 episodes of whatever. And I know I should watch Miss Marvel because it's like Brown, but like, I don't care. I don't care. That's what someone told me. Oh, you should watch Miss Marvel. It's about your people. Who cares? I'll watch shit about my people that's like awesome, but I'm not gonna watch something like, oh, we're in it. Oh my god, we're in it. Oh, thank you, Hollywood. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm not about like that. It's like that new Disney movie that came out. What was it called? Like The Long Journey or what? Hold on. Let me look at what it's called. New Disney movie bombs. What's it called? Strange World. That's what it's called. It's like that movie Strange World, where the only thing I really saw about it, they never ran any ads for it, but the only thing I really saw about it was like, hey, look, our lead is part of the LGBTQ community. And it's like, bro, I'm not going to watch a movie just because of that. What? That's insane to think that, like, oh, you would watch a movie because of just that. For the same reason I didn't watch Miss Marvel, because it was Muslim people. It's gotta be good. It's gotta be good. If your whole thing is begging on I'll watch it to be an ally, that's insane. I don't want to watch a movie to be like, man, I'm here because I'm supporting the cause. No, I'm watching a movie because I want it to be awesome. And I want to be like, either have fun, definitely be entertained, made to think, scared. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to watch a movie to watch a good movie. I don't give a fuck who the lead is or what group the leads belong to. I don't care. I don't care. It's like when Billy Eichner was like, "Oh, people aren't watching my new movie because of homophobia." Oh, is it? Or is it because it didn't look good? The entire basis of that movie was like, "Hey, we're gay." Okay. So? You should watch this because it's a gay rom-com. I don't watch regular rom-coms usually. Normal, God-loving rom-coms. Normal, I don't watch normal going to heaven rom-coms, okay? I've watched they're just not my cup of tea, so I'm not gonna watch it just because like, oh, this is a rom-com with brown trans people. I don't give a shit. So a part of me feels like people are like, oh, you don't like Black Panther 2 because you're racist. No, it's because it's a bad movie. The fact that I'm racist has nothing to do with it. I love the first Black Panther. I thought the first Black Panther was amazing. And, they were in a hole for this one. I will say that. They were in a hole for this one. But still, I don't give a shit. Let's see. There's a couple things I want to talk about. Outside of the opening rant. That's what I call the beginning before I get to what I want to talk about now. It's a segment, The Opening Rant, brought to you by Doritos. Can you imagine if Doritos sponsored this? Just a waste of their money. That was The Opening Rant. But no, the one thing I want to talk about and what this episode will be called is it's a simple thought that I had a while ago, but I think it reigns true. I believe that Mr. Bean is the greatest comedic character of all time. And what brought this on is during the last month when I didn't do it, there was the Cricket World Cup. And at one point, Zimbabwe beat Pakistan, which apparently in cricket was a huge upset. I don't know a lot about cricket, but it was a huge upset, right? And one of the things that people in Zimbabwe were tweeting, and even I think the prime minister or whatever, one of the leaders got hit on it. They were like, "This is our revenge for Mr. Bean Pak. This is what you get, Pakistan, for sending over Mr. Bean Pak." And I was like, who was Mr. Bean Pak? So I looked it up. Bro, at some point, it's either 90s or 2000s or maybe 2010s. I forgot to look up when it happened, bro. A Pakistani actor answered an ad to play a Mr. Bean impersonator in some kind of play, I think, in Zimbabwe or something like that. The details of that are fuzzy to me. But either way, this Mr. Bean impersonator ends up in Zimbabwe. And bro, the people of Zimbabwe thought Mr. Bean was there, and they went fucking nuts, dude. They went nuts. Reporters, crowds of people came to see him. And the funny part is he wasn't even a good Mr. Bean impersonator. He was terrible, bro. If you look up videos of Mr. Bean Pak on Twitter or YouTube or Google, bro, he's out there. He's so he's out on top of a press car with a police escort, and people are shouting, "Mr. Bean, Mr. Bean," and the dude is loving it. Obviously, he's like, "This is hilarious, bro. This is how bad of a Mr. Bean impersonator." He's talking to them. He's saying words to them. Now, I haven't seen Mr. Bean in a while, but out of all the things I remember about him, being an eloquent speaker wasn't really one of his things. The whole point of Mr. Bean is that it was slapstick. You didn't have to say many words, and it worked. But yeah, I mean, I still remember Mr. Bean. Haven't watched him since I was a kid. I think a lot of people know who Mr. Bean is. I think a lot of maybe I don't know if like kids now really know Mr. Bean. You know what? I'm gonna text my sister and be like, you know Mr. Bean? That's my sister's 10 years younger than me. She's my litmus test for what Gen Z knows. But yeah, they went crazy for him in Zimbabwe. And I really do think that Mr. Bean has general appeal across the world. You don't have to understand any English to find Mr. Bean hilarious. And some of you are like, oh, slapstick is like a lower form of humor. No, if you can make people laugh, bro, anyway, that shit's hard. There's no lower forms of humor in my mind. Now, slapstick is we've moved past it, in terms of our mainstream way of making people laugh. Yes, obviously now it's more like words and thoughts and whatever, but still. I don't take that, oh, it's doing slapstick, it's a lower. I don't take that. And also, unlike the Three Stooges, unlike what's it called? The guy with the Hitler mustache. I forgot, it's Charlie Chaplin, right? They were doing slapstick in a time when people couldn't talk in movies and TV. Things were black and white. You know what I mean? Like, Stooges came after the silent era for sure, but they were close enough to it. They definitely grew up in the silent era, that's for sure. Bro, Mr. Bean was doing slapstick when Seinfeld was out. When top-tier quality writing was how people got laughs. In the 90s, bro, Mr. Bean was doing slapstick, and he was hilarious. It felt fresh. It didn't feel hack. You can put Mr. Bean anywhere, and he would get laughs. And I just don't think there's any other comedic character that has that much versatility. Like Cartman, for example. I love Eric Cartman. I think he's one of the greatest TV characters of all time. Of all time. Bro, if you put Cartman in the middle of Zimbabwe, does he get a police escort? Do you feel what I'm saying? Do they really know who Cartman is? Do they really know? I don't think they do. Maybe I'm being racist. Maybe I just don't know. Maybe I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, African nations, they don't get pop culture. Maybe I am being racist, but I doubt it. I doubt it that much. I doubt that Cartman makes the same level of impact that Mr. Bean does. I truly, truly believe this, that Mr. Bean is probably the greatest comedic character of all time. I can't imagine anyone doing more. Anyone being more famous. Anyone being more famous than that. I don't know why I said it like that. I just could you even, and I'll leave the comments open to you, but could you even name another character on that level? Benny Hill is pretty famous. Like Benny Hill has a timeless song. That's very famous. And then I think he did the the people running around and the lecherous old man thing. So Benny Hill is up, but I think more people know Mr. Bean than Benny Hill. What American would you put up there with that? Because we've had some amazing comedy characters. Kramer. But I don't even think... But Kramer has the, air of what happened afterwards over him. Man, he really, bro. That Kramer meltdown's pretty wild. Because that was a famous character. I don't think some people I don't know if some younger people really understand the depth of what Kramer. Imagine if Michael Scott went on the Laugh Factory and just was calling people the N-word, bro. That shit was crazy that Kramer did that. I really hope in Black Panther 3 Kramer's the bad guy. How funny would that be? That would be funny if Black Panther 3, the bad guys are just celebrities who said racist. Like, it's just Kramer and Roseanne Barr. It's like, huh, they've really gone a certain direction with this. Oh, my dad texted me, asking me if I ate. Bro, I love that. I love being home. I used to hate it. You know, obviously when I lived here, my parents would be like, did you eat? Did you eat? Did you eat? And now that I live, you know, alone, like, now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, wow, it's so nice to have my dad be like, did you eat? Love it. Love it, bro. Parents will be parents. This made me feel so loved. So I came back. I had shows last night, and I came back at like 10, pretty late. Both my parents have work, so they're both asleep or about to go to sleep. I walk in the door. Both of them get up and are like, all right, what food do you want? They got up out of their sleep to make me food. And normally I would be like, no, go back to sleep or whatever. But this time I was like, no, make me food. Let's hang out. It made me feel so loved, bro. Oh, man. Yo, if you don't have good parents, oh, man, that sucks ass, huh? Woo, my parents are fucking awesome. Made me feel so loved, dog. Like, you know what's funny? I'm ready to get out of here and go back home for sure. Go back to Austin for sure. You know what I mean? But like, feel so loved, son. I feel so loved. Man, oh man. Thank you, ma'am. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Mr. Bean. Yeah, if you have any comments, let me know. Like, is Mr. Bean the greatest comedic character of all time? And I think he is. I am willing to really argue for that. Really argue for that. So yeah. What else is there to talk about? Man, I haven't done this in a while. I haven't done this in a while, so you know what I mean? Like the getting on the roll, the rolling, gotta keep rolling. It's like, yo, you run out of practice. Bro, I sat down and I'm like, bro, how am I gonna talk for 40 minutes? At least, right? Because it's gotta be 40 minutes at least. And it's like, bro, not even that. I used to do an hour consistently. How? It's crazy, bro. Like, just what you think you can pick up. Like, let's say you've done something for years and you go back to it, and what you've really retained is little, is not as much as you think. You know what I mean? Like, if you've done something for years and then give it up for a while, even a few months, you got to shake the rust off. That's why before the pandemic, Eddie Murphy had a special that was supposed to come out with Netflix, and he wasn't getting up. And I know he hasn't been doing comedy, like stand-up comedy, like for years before that. And like, look, Eddie Murphy is obviously one of the funniest people of all time. Absolutely. And if he did a stand-up special, would it be better than most people who done a stand-up special without doing stand-up for years? Absolutely. But I think it would be rough if he didn't get up a lot. So I was curious to see how that turned out. And then the pandemic happened, and then he sort of got a reprieve from that. But Netflix paid him a lot of money. I wonder what they did with that. I wonder if he got it back or if he just has it. But I'm curious as to what an Eddie Murphy comedy special would look like now. But yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to compare myself to Eddie Murphy when talking about podcasting for the Dangerous Brown podcast, but I ended up doing it, you know? I ended up doing it. But yeah, dude, it's like just to get it to stay on a roll sometimes. It's like, damn, dude, I used to do this twice a week during the pandemic. Remember when I was doing it twice a week? God, that was a mistake. Yo, looking back on it, I should have just kept it once a week. I don't know what I was thinking. And now I'm doing it whenever I feel like, which is probably even more of a mistake. Life is crazy, man. But But you're just figuring it out, bro. Figuring it out. It's dude, entertaining people is so. I'll never forget this. I was in fucking Amoeba record shop, or like I think the Amoeba place in LA, Amoeba Records. I was in Amoeba Records years ago with Taylor Tomlinson, super duper famous Taylor Tomlinson, and we were going through records, and she said, "Isn't it wild how many people out there are just trying to entertain people?" And it's like, damn, that is wild. Bro, this shit is insane. Choosing to entertain people, man, what a choice. It's like, if you're thinking about it, you gotta be sure that's what you want to do, because this shit is hard. This shit is hard. This shit is long. You go through phases. You're like, I'll do Dangerous Brown twice a week, once a week. Now, barely ever. You know what I mean? Like, just from, if you really rock it with me, you can tell, like, bro, if you've been rocking with me, all you original infidels from way back when who've seen all the shit I've been doing just to get to 10,000 followers in 10 years, it's hard. I ain't gonna give up, though. Like, the Dangerous Browns might not be coming in, like, the way some of y'all want and some of y'all are hitting me up for. Shout out to everyone who hits me up for episodes still. But just know I'm still trying to entertain y'all. Trying, man. You dude. All right. I'm looking at the time like, damn, I'm not. All this vamping isn't taking more time off the clock. Oh, this is what else I want to talk about. Yo, Balenciaga, what's going on? I mean, yo, who in their right mind thought that having a kid hold a teddy bear with bondage gear was a good idea? How far removed are you from reality that you think that's a good idea? And I saw a TikTok video about, like, all the other, like, vague references in Balenciaga ads to, like, basically child abuse, and it's like, what is happening? Why is that your Easter egg, Balenciaga? It's like, oh, look, like, apparently in the background of one of the couple of the ads, there's, like, books written by people who are like, abusing children is okay or something. I'm very much generalizing here, but you get the point I'm trying to make. Or not the point I'm trying to make, but that's what's kind of in it. There's a lot of vaguely thin references to child abuse in the background. Did I do the research? No. Did I watch a TikTok video about it? Yes. Can I find it and show you? No. Go out and look for it yourself. But what the fuck? Why is that the Easter egg? Why is that the Easter egg when it could have been, you know how cool it would have been, Balenciaga, if someone was like, hey, yo, if you look at all the backgrounds in their ads, there's some reference to Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I think Balenciaga ads take place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How cool would that have been if that was your thing? But instead, your thing in the background is like, yo, do they traffic children? Who thought of that? They should be in a bigger dude. Balenciaga should be in a way bigger shitstorm than they are now. It was almost like right before it came out that they had this ad. They told Kanye, like, yo, tweet something about the Jews real quick. Get the heat off of us. Get the heat off of us, Kanye, please. And Kanye was like, I'll take one for you. Crazy. Man, it's just there's so many things going on, bro, that it's like, what the fuck? What is it, clown world? Although I hate the implication of saying clown world, because it's like really a bunch of right wingers who say clown world. Who one of the biggest clown world things is how there's a lot of hypocrisy on the left, but then the clown world accounts never post the hypocrisy on the right. It's very clown world. But it's like, damn, dude, what's going on? What's going on with these, like, I can't believe Kanye's gotten more in trouble than Balenciaga's gonna get. That's what's hilarious about all of it. I did think this was crazy when Kanye was doing what he was saying, and then he wasn't like when Kanye said what he said, and then afterwards he got banned from everything, right? He got banned from using the banks, which is like, bro, come on. If you thought he was full of shit, wouldn't you say nothing? All that does is make people go, maybe Kanye was right. Like, that's the wrong thing to do, is to ban him from everything. That's crazy. Also, in my mind, that's more anti-Semitic of, like, Chase Bank to do that to Kanye, to be like, to have their stance be like, no, there's no Jews here. I can't believe you think there's Jews here, Kanye. We don't have any at Chase Bank. How many Jews do we have? 9. That's no Jews in German. That's how little Jews we have. It's like, bro, what? I bet every single person at Balenciaga is going to be able to keep their account at Chase Bank, though. Because Balenciaga didn't offend the wrong people, apparently. Oopsies. Bro, it's just so crazy. This is so crazy. There's so many... Dude, I see so many things about groomers on TikTok now. Not TikTok, sorry. So much talk about groomers on Twitter now. It's a lot. It's a lot. I think I've talked about this before. It's amazing how people like only care about groomers when the other side is doing it, and then just conveniently ignore their side of groomers. Right? Like, bro, I've seen videos of some of these drag shows that kids are at, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck is this? That's crazy, right? Like, I get, obviously, like, LGBTQ people should be accepted and whatever. Duh. But, like, bro, what? Dude, like, having twerking on kids, like, bro, that's fucking weird, dude. That's fucking weird. Being all sexual for the children, and you're just like, oh, we're being accepting. No, that's weird, man. I can accept your lifestyle and not want my kids to be putting money in your thong. That's crazy. Right? So when the right sees that, they justifiably get a little upset. Now, obviously, they shouldn't condone killing people. When that mass shooting at the club happened, they were like, it's a good thing. It's like, well, relax on that. But then, like, you know, they'll just take it, they'll be like, oh, the left, it's full of groomers, and they're not saying nothing else. It's like, oh, is the left full of groomers? Is the left the only part that's full of groomers? Really? Remember the Republican Speaker of the House that was sexually assaulting kids? Remember Dennis Hastert for 8 years or so was the Speaker of the House, was assaulting boys? How about Matt Gaetz? It's like, bro, let's go after... It's so funny how the political scene is like, we got to go after the partisan pedophiles. And conveniently ignore our side of pedophiles. It's like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Both Trump and Clinton took pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. The real problem is that it's all of them. But, you know, I do think, like, the kids at drag shows, it's like, what? Drag shows, in my mind, have always been an adult thing. I saw a couple videos, and maybe it's propaganda. Maybe I got caught in the propaganda machine. But, like, sticking dollar bills in, like, drag queens' thongs, it's like, why? Why? You can teach kids that all that stuff is, it's okay to be trans, it's okay to be gay without making it weirdly sexual. Those two things exist. They exist. So, you know. Yeah, it's just so weird to me. It's like, I talked about it earlier, it's like, why do I have to accept everything about you because of who you are on the outside, or who you like to sleep with? Like you have the right to live a happy, fulfilling life. You know, as long as you're not hurting anyone. Like a happy, fulfilling life. But I have the ability to, like, not like some of the things I see and not be, like, homophobic or transphobic about it, bro. That's how I feel. I'm not going to watch this new Disney movie just because everyone's gay, and I was like, oh, I should watch that because gay people are are people too. Like, that's insane. Why can't I question, like, why are these kids at drag shows? And then, why can't I question why we don't go after these straight up Matt Gaetz is a fucking trafficked a minor across state lines as a congressman. Why can't we go after him? Everyone protects their own. It's interesting. If it takes a village, it's something that they said in the movie Spotlight, bro. If it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village to abuse one. This shit is real. That shit is real. But yeah. Did I go off the rails here? Felt like I went off the rails a little bit. Balenciaga and like whatnot. Oh yeah, I guess the World Cup is happening. We can talk. I just posted a clip on Instagram that went viral on someone else's page, on the NFL memes page, which is nice. But if it went that viral on my page, I would have gotten hella followers. So it's like, I'm not complaining because because like a lot of the comments on the few comments on there was like, is this the guy that did the hair thing during the pandemic, the no shave till vaccine? And I was like, damn, people remember that. So it's like making little imprints on the social media world. But it's interesting. It's interesting. You know what I mean? Because it's like if they all came to me, because they all go, most of them are gonna follow that meme page now because of that joke. Because that joke got a million views on the meme page in less than 24 hours. In about 12 hours, it got a million views. Maybe a little less than 12 hours. No, 12 hours. In 12 hours, I got a million views, which is dope. But like, I'm not getting traffic my way, which is like, who am I to complain? But it's like, damn, bro, I just want to entertain people. That's all I want to do. I want to be able to go to like clubs and sell out and just make people laugh because of my jokes, you know? It's like, you know what it is? Because it's like when you get into it, anything in life, when you're like, when you first start, you can't, if you start a business, let's say, when you first start, you can't be like, I want this to be huge right away, because that doesn't happen for most people. But after 10 years, you're like, damn, what do I got to do? So yeah, it's really interesting. So like, The View, it's a New York Jets joke that I have, and it has like 1 million views on the meme page, 800,000 views on the meme page, just Twitter, and like 35,000 views on my page. Which is like, now it's not gonna get a lot of views on my page because the same exact joke is huge on another page, but like, it's interesting. It's interesting. Clout is weird, man. But damn. So that like literally just happened to me, and it's been a good NFL season. I feel like there's no really clear-cut winner for the Super Bowl. I feel like the Super Bowl is sort of up in the air between everybody here. I mean, I think right now you gotta, by the way everyone's playing, it's gotta be the Chiefs-Eagles as far as the two favorites, but like, the Chiefs could have lost that game against the Rams if the Rams had Cooper Kupp and Stafford. Chiefs lost to the Bills. And like, if you look at the Niners-Chiefs game, it like the final score looks lopsided, but that game was really close going into the fourth quarter. And you got to realize, like, the Niners, that was the first week of McCaffrey. He only had one practice with the Niners, and they had a lot of their defensive starters missing. And I don't think Debo played either. So it's like, then the Niners kept it close. So like, the Chiefs are beatable. Philadelphia looks really good. They're 10-1, but it's like, you look at their competition, it's a little suspect. But that's a good team. Well-rounded. You know? So it's like, where does Odell go? That's a thing. Is Odell on the no-fly list? How hilarious would it be if Odell can't go anywhere because he's on the no-fly list? He's definitely not going to be on the no-fly list because he's famous enough. Odell is famous enough to have one tantrum on an airplane and not be on the no-fly list. But I think if he has a second one, they'll be like, yo, Odell, you can't fly. But I guess teams try to private planes now, so I guess it doesn't matter. Right. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. What else is going on? You know what? Let's look at the news. I think I hit like all the big news things. I hit the 40 minutes. I hope this episode was entertaining for y'all. It was less funny and more just me ranting about pedophiles and Mr. Bean. Pedophiles and Mr. Bean. You know? That's what this episode was really about at the end of the day. Groomers and Mr. Bean. The Mr. Bean groomers. But yeah, dude, so much is going on. Trump's running for office again, which is like, ugh. Dude, I'm just so tired of it's so tiring talking about politics. You know, at the end of the day, it's like so because it's like I feel like both sides just don't give a shit about people. Well, no, I shouldn't say feel like politics is tiring because both parties just don't give a shit about the American people, and it's just frustrating. The Democrats will be like, oh, Trump and the papers he took. He could have sold weapons illegally to Saudi Arabia. It's like, oh, he sold weapons to Saudi Arabia? How different from every other president that we've had in recent times. What a fucking shocker. And then the Republicans will be like, oh, Hunter Biden's laptop. It's like, bro, who gives a shit? Yo, Hunter Biden had a viral video of him smoking crack. That's hilarious. If Trump has taught me anything, is, bruh, you get a pass if you're hilarious. Sorry, that's just how that works now. I don't give a fuck about the Trump papers. I don't give a fuck about Hunter Biden's laptop. Yo, a McDonald's Big Mac meal is over $10. Over $10. Yo, the party that can bring that down to like 7 or 8 has my vote. A party that can bring the Big Mac meal down, that has my vote. I don't care about your laptop. I don't care about your papers. Help us. Help us. Help us. Fucking idiots. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about, like, just like, what is our government? What does Kamala Harris do? What does Kamala Harris do? I can name one thing every vice president before her has done in my lifetime. I can name one thing every vice president before her has done in my lifetime. Al Gore had that movie. Dick Cheney told Anakin Skywalker to execute Order 66. Mike Pence had to wake up every morning and convince himself he's not gay. Like, they all had to do something. What does Kamala Harris do? Just at every point, the leadership in this country is like, what the fuck is happening? Yo, you ever look at Mitch McConnell's face and be like, God damn, that's the best we can do? Mitch McConnell is the best we can do as a leader for this country? The man who's 90% jowl, 10% human, maybe even 10% human? He's probably 90% jowl and 10% lizard person? I would like to say Mitch McConnell has a punchable face, but it feels like if you tried to punch McConnell in his face would just swallow your fist and hold you there while a corporation robs you. God, it's just so, for American politics, it's so fucking frustrating, dude. Hate it. It's just insane. All right, let's take a look at the news. Let's take a look at the news. We'll look at like the biggest news stories. In the past week, and then from there we'll look at the biggest news stories in the past month, and then and that's how we'll end it. Top posts this month. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, Twitter. Oh my God, Elon Musk on Twitter. That was a huge thing. I mean, I feel like my problem with Twitter is the same as before and after Elon Musk took it over, is the fact that at the end of the day, it's not really going to be a free speech platform. Like, before it was just the oligarchs that control Twitter, and now it's these kind of oligarchs. Like, it was sort of left-leaning oligarchs that control Twitter, and now it's like right-leaning oligarchs that control Twitter. So it's like, either way, they're going to suppress their thought. I don't really like the people who scream most about free speech. When people like really scream about free speech, what they really mean is, I want my speech to be heard and speech against me to be suppressed. That's what they really mean, usually. There's very few people who are actually free speech. Because to be actually free speech, you'd have to go across political lines. Like it's not like one side is more free speech than the other. If you were really truly free speech, you should be happy that Colin Kaepernick took a knee to express his right to protest, and you should also be mad that Trump got taken off Twitter. Do you feel what I mean? Like that's like a hard, like, to be really free speech, that's the line you got to go, and that's on both sides of the aisle, right? There's not a lot of pro-Kaepernick, pro-Trump people out there. Or pro-Kaepernick kneeling, pro-Trump being on Twitter people out there. But that's what a real free speech is. So it's like, do I believe that exists with Elon? No. I mean, I just saw a tweet earlier today about how Elon was like, Apple took out its advertising. Do they really like free speech? And it's always the free market capitalists that get super mad when the free market doesn't choose them. Always. Like the most hyper free market capitalists, because I would consider myself a capitalist. So the most hyper free market capitalists always get mad when the free market chooses not to choose them. It's like, bro, this is what you wanted. I'm sorry you don't have a product that advertisers feel like giving money to, but it's not an attack on free speech. An attack on free speech would be forcing them to pay for advertising on your space. That would be an attack on free speech. But there can be no free speech platform. There's no way. There's no way there could be a true free speech platform because whoever owned it would tilt it to their direction. Because to be a real true free speech platform, you have to be really able to handle all the attacks on you. And I don't think Elon can handle that. I don't think he can. It just doesn't seem, Now, I don't think it's over. Like, people are like, oh, he fired a bunch of people, it's over. I think he fired a bunch of redundant people and a lot of management that they didn't need. But we'll see. I don't think Twitter's going to be the same anymore. It feels like a less fun place, I'll tell you that right now. But who am I? Maybe because I'm a left-leaning person that I feel like, oh, man, my feed is like so many right-wing people now. And I'm not going to stop using it because it's important to know what they think. And, I am not a team guy. They'll say some shit that, I agree with. So it's like, you know what I mean? But it's like, but the problem is, I think the biggest problem with American politics is that people there's no room for nuance. Like, you can't be here, and here. We talked about the gun control debate. Like, I don't want people to have their guns taken away. That's a fundamental right in this country. It is what it is, but you should be 21 to have to buy an assault rifle. I truly believe that. But, who knows? Who knows? The whole Twitter thing is hilarious. Is interesting. People are like, oh, what's happening? Let's see. Oh, yeah, the Republican. The Republican. I can't believe the Republicans did so bad in the midterms. That's so funny. Bro, yo. That's how in the gutter American politics is. Yo, we have a highly unpopular president right now in Biden. Highly unpopular. People ready to jump ship from the Democrats, bro. Jump ships. I would love it if I didn't vote Democrat again. I wouldn't mind. And then the only other option you give me is Dr. Oz and Herschel Walker. That's the best you can come up with when people are ready to jump ship? That's the best you can do? That's crazy. All you had to do was have a normal person, and the Republicans would have wiped the floor with the Democrats. And they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. Bro, we gotta turn America off and then turn America on again. Bro, Biden killed it in the midterms. Biden, and he sucks ass. How? Oh, well, I'm gonna stop recording because my memory card fucked up. So, on my camera. So I don't know if I even have this memory. I don't even know if I have this video anymore because it fucked up. Right at 50 minutes, so I made it to 50. But all right, infidels, I'm out of here. Love you guys. Peace.